So this is video 2 of my Here Comes the Bride junk journal, and I've kind of decided that even though I call it a junk journal, I'm kind of a clean junk journal type person. Like, I like it to look vintage and have laces and stuff, but I don't usually do like a whole lot of, oh, I don't know, grungy. I don't know, but this looks grungy, so I don't know what I'm trying to say. Maybe my pages are not going to be as full. Like, I'll add decoration to my covers and stuff of my signatures, but I'm not going to add it too much into my pages because I want them to be for pictures and sayings. So again, we still have to finish the cover, but this is the inside, front, and back cover. And so I just thought I'd show you real quick what I did to make these. So there's this tag, and then I have this one, and then over here there's this. So this is actually a paper bag that I have, and I'll show you here in just a second. So I'll go ahead and put these back in there. And on this side it's the same kind of pocket. Here's one of those tags that I made. Put that in this section. Here's another cut apart, and then here's just a quick tag that I put together. I ended up going back and putting some pearls down here and then across here. Have my tea-dyed tag here and here. I used some of the tea stains or coffee stain, whatever it is, fabric here, cut apart. So let me show you real quick how I make those. They are super easy, but I have these bags that I purchased, and I got a whole bunch of them. So they measure 6 by about 9.5. And so I knew that my page wasn't that big, and so the first thing I did was I folded it back to be about what I wanted the pocket to be. So I just kind of eyeballed it, and I would lay it down every once in a while to see if this was going to work. So I went ahead and then I just creased that, and then let's see, I just folded this back to where I wanted it. Yeah, so I folded it back so it looks kind of like a Z. So then this ends up a pocket as it was meant to be, and then I just glued the sides here, so then this became a pocket on this side, and then I glued this down, and I'll do it here in just a second. And then when I put it on my book, I just glued 3 sides so that you could stick something on the side also. So let me just do this real quick. Now, you do want to add your pattern paper first, so let me see what kind of scraps I have here that I can use. So this says Ceremony, and it's about the right thickness. So I'll cut this and glue this here. And then I'm going to leave this looking just like the paper. And I did ink the edges. So let me just do that real quick so I don't forget. And I just do it really super sloppy. I love the sound of this bag too, isn't that weird? And then I went ahead and did this part. And then I actually put, because I don't want this to be totally brown. What did I do? Where's the paper? Oh, where's scratch paper when you need it? I just put a piece of paper in here and then roughed this up with my ink. Okay. And I need to do the edge. But you want to do all this before you do any gluing. Okay. That looks inked up pretty much the way I want it. So now I'll cut the paper. And if this is 6, right, I'll make this about 5, probably 5 3/4, because I want to see some of the bag. So let's see what 5 3/4 does. think that'll work. Now you can ink the edge and then just glue it down. You can take the distress tool and go around it, and I think that's what I'll do on this one. I'm going to go ahead and ink this first before I use my distress tool. I don't know, I kind of like the look of seeing the white come through when you distress it. And it's okay to be rough, like I want it to look like it's old. So then I'll just take my tool and go across the edge. I'm going to do it over the garbage can though, so it doesn't make a mess. And I'll do that quickly. I have found that even though there's like freedom and not having to measure precise on everything and just kind of layering and throwing things together, it's still a time-consuming process. All right, I'm almost ready with this one. I say that, now I can't get it. There we go. All right, so then it's okay. I ripped the paper and that's okay. So then just use your glue. And I'll put glue on the back. Okay. And then, like I said, I want to leave this looking like the paper, the bag. So I'm not going to cover that. You could if you wanted. I do want there to be pattern paper here, and I think it needs some color right there, being a lot of this. Let's see. I have that, but it's not thick enough. Is that thick enough? No, not really. That is. Okay, so I said 5 3/4. So this is kind of a make it as you go. I don't have anything pre-planned while I'm showing you this. Now, because I did the edges on this one, I also want to do it on this one. And I want to not just ink it, but I also want to distress with the tool. And like I said, you can use scissors. You would just open them up and go across like that. I think this tool, for as cheap as it is pretty handy and worth. I like using that. And I'm going to rough up those edges a little bit, not a ton, just enough to notice that they aren't perfect. Okay. So then I'm going to glue that down. And again, I want to see some of the bag sticking through because I like the pattern on this bag. Okay, so now I'm just going to glue down these sides first. So that I have an additional pocket. Now you could cut this if you wanted to, cut it off and then you'd have another opening, but because it's going to be bumped up against my spine, I wouldn't really be able to put anything in there anyway. So I'm just going to go ahead and glue this down. And you can add your trims and laces. Use your cut aparts for the pieces to put inside. And then when you glue it onto your book, like I said, you're just going to glue the 3 sides down so that you can use this as an opening for tags too. So then you can come through, let me get the pin out of there. You can add some trim like so. That covers the word ceremony, so I don't know if I want to cover that. Maybe I'd put it more down here. I have some pearls. I have quite a bit of pearls. A strand of them. I think I had a loose piece. Yeah, this is just loose, but you could then glue down some pearls on top of there. You can add tags and whatnot. So again, it's just a matter of layering. And sometimes that's hard for me because I don't want it to look messy, but the end result, I usually like it. So it doesn't always have to be all matching. Also, you could use different pieces. You can add buttons. And then just use your cut aparts. So that's how I did the inside pockets. So like I said, this was a like a garment tag, and I got some, I don't know where I got them, but I just turned that into one of my tags for in here. And I like it when the ribbon sticks out, the lace sticks out from the sides of the book. Alright, so the next part then I started working on, and I didn't show this on camera because really it's like folding a piece of paper in half. And so I thought, how boring would it be just to see me fold paper? But let me show you. So the first thing I did was just make it look like a card. So this is Artisan cardstock, and my book cover was 5.5 by 7.5, I believe. So this is 5 by 7 once it's folded. So it started off as 10 by 7, just folded it in half. I did two mats. I did black, and then I did the pattern paper. Now this is where I plan on adding a lot more decoration and stuff, because I have a 1/2 inch gusset, or I will have a 1/2 inch gusset in my book, so there'll be room for me to add some dimension here. I don't really want to add a ton on my pages, but I will add lace for sure, and I'll add some more flat elements. So let me show you what I did. Now this paper is actually from the Mother's Day paper, but I wanted to bring in some of the pink because I love pink. And I was proud of myself. I actually sewed this together instead of hand stitching. I just ran it through my sewing machine, which I've had for quite a while and I've used maybe once or twice. So anyway, what I did is I just stacked the papers the way I liked them. So I have a book page. I had an old card. This is some of the paper from the collection. Here's that beautiful coffee stained paper. Music paper from a hymnal. Again, then the other sides, here's one of those bags, and I cut the end off so you can make it into a tag. Not a tag, a pocket. Okay, so there's one. They're all pretty much the same idea anyway. So this will be on the third signature for the wedding, actual wedding one. Notice I inked everything. So then I laid my papers flat, like so, folded everything in half, and then I put them together, put clips on it, and then I ran it through my machine. But coffee dyed paper, pattern from the collection. Here's a bag that I'll decorate. Here's one of those note cards. I don't have a whole lot of old stuff to use, so I just kind of use what I had. So they're all kind of like that. And I have a new trimmer or cutter now that a friend told me about, and oh my gosh, it's fabulous. You put your stack of paper and it will take, it's set up to 400 pieces of regular copy paper, but I just put this in and chopped it off all evenly, so you don't have any jaggedy edges. Could not believe it. And it wasn't even hard, like I didn't have to push like super hard. It's a wonderful machine, so I'm glad I have that. Okay, so notice that I sewed this together, but I did not sew it into this because I want to be able to take this out if I want and add maybe a new one. Maybe I fill this one up and I want to do another one. So I can just take this out and make another one and still use the same cover. So when I make when I work with the spine of my book, I will have 3 cords, like gold colored cords, and then it'll just stick underneath those cords. But so I'm going to have some laces coming off these sides because I like that look when you can see it with the book closed. I'm going to probably add some pockets in here, but I'm going to go rummaging through my stuff to see what I have. But yeah, I'm just kind of going, and I don't even have anything in my head pre-planned. I'm just going to go look through my stuff now and see what I have. But this is going to be the book for the courtship or the dating. This is going to be the one for the proposal, the engagement, and then this is the one that's going to be for the wedding. So those are my 3 signatures. So I'm going to start digging through my laces, which I have a lot. I have some wedding appliques. I have some metal pieces. So this part is actually kind of hard for me because I don't like my desk to be so messy. And then you take it all out and then you don't use all of it. Then you got to go put all of it back and find the right spot for it. And okay, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, that's the next step. So I will come back and show you as I start decorating those signatures. And then I'll show you how to put the cording in the spine of the book.